Hey y'all, I'm so excited to start this newest project and share with you about this beautiful mansion on Dauphin Street. This is actually a reflection in the bird bath out front. I wanted to show you this home before we actually get started on it. It looks like a fairy tale. I mean, look at this tower with all these different fish scales and stained glass windows and balconies and spires and all the ornamentation and vibrant colors. It's really a marvel architecturally. It's a really special home, and it's got turn posts and these stunning front doors and casements with the bullseyes, and it's got giant windows with jib doors that open out so you can walk out onto the porch. And it's just really a treasure, and just enraptured by this home. I think it's just got so much detail to it. And what's so fascinating is it's actually a Greek revival from the 1850s that was Victorianized later in the 19th century, and potentially could be even older. There is some thought that potentially this left-hand portion here was from the 1830s and a federal. And of course, these pediments were added much later when they Victorianized the house with these pediments, which I think are kind of cool. But really just a fascinating home. Needs some love, but man, it's got incredible bones and stained glass windows throughout, and just architecturally, it's just a true stunner. So hope you can follow with us as we start working on this and turn it back into the jewel that it is.
Welcome to Mobile by May with Steve May, where we will discuss all things Mobile. Steve is a licensed residential realtor and home builder in the state of Alabama, and he is passionate about historic preservation and revitalization, in addition to repurposing historic architectural salvage to help maintain the character and charm of these beautiful homes. He has been instrumental in helping to revitalize historic neighborhoods by restoring 18 homes, even some that were scheduled to be demolished, and turning them into treasures, including his own home that was moved across town to save it from the wrecking ball. Mobile has so much promise with gorgeous historic architecture and the natural beauty of ancient live oaks lining the streets, and by working together, we can make it better for the next generation. We will be showcasing exciting new developments, real estate, home renovation, design, and Mobile history into each episode to provide a full understanding of the culture and heritage of this special city on Mobile Bay.
Hey everyone, excited to launch our next episode of Mobile by May. We're downtown in the History Museum of Mobile down on Royal Street. It's just gorgeous setting. A gracious host to allow us to film here, and we're going to be covering Mardi Gras and also the beginnings of a renovation on an incredible Queen Anne Victorian, which is also underneath all that a Greek revival and potentially even a federal back to the 1830s. So hope you can join us.
Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of Mobile by May. I'm Steve May. I'm a licensed residential realtor here in Mobile, Alabama, and also a home builder.
Yeah, and I'm Lisa Graves, lover of historic homes and big old oak trees. And do we have a show for you guys today? Do you see the replica of this beautiful old home? This is a miniature home. We are in the History Museum of Mobile. They've been gracious enough to let us film this episode from here. And this is the Aaron and Sarah Friedman miniature house collection. And there are 8 houses in here that he built by hand. They're incredible for his wife and his granddaughters. And we'll tell you more about that later. But Steve has so much to tell you about. He's got this huge project he's about to start on Dauphin Street. And then also, we just finished Mardi Gras, thus the beads.
That's right.
And the moon pies.
Yeah, so special thanks to the History Museum of Mobile for allowing us to film from here this morning. This is an incredible Italianate building, and I love the description of it. And it was built in the mid-1850s, and it was originally City Hall, and it was designed to be, they wanted a handsome building that was an ornament to the city. And so with architecture, that's really what it is, just another ornament to the city. So this is a special place, and it's got incredible artifacts, I think over 120,000 down here for the city. And so we started out this one on a new project on Dauphin Street. This home is magic. I mean,
I've got to tour it. It is.
It looks. It almost has a castle, like medieval castle quality to it.
Turrets.
Yes, and all the different designs and patterns, and it's really just a celebration, because after the Greek Revival period, people really wanted something really fun, and so you've got these towers and gables and balconies, and so it's really going to be a phenomenal renovation project, and we have nicknamed it the Gumbo Queen because it does have so many different types of architecture. When you look at the outside, you think it's just a Queen Anne, but when you go inside, you find out actually it's much older. So there's different tells with these old houses, which has just always been fascinating to me. So I can't wait for y'all to see the interior as well.
Yeah. Oh, and I got to tour it. I mean, how many square feet is that house? It's huge.
It's 6,500 square feet.
Oh.
Yeah. Heart pine floors, gorgeous mantels, stained glass windows. You just go on and on and on. And we want to document it before we got started on it. And then we're going to show you the progress as we continue to work on it.
So you'll see from the beginning of this shows the outside of the house, and you can see it needs a lot of love, but a couple has bought it and they are willing to do that. And we just love them. And then the inside. And Steve is going to be the home builder and the renovator.
That's right.
In charge of all this project. It's a big project, so we're excited for Steve. So we mentioned we're at the History Museum of Mobile. It is 22,000 square feet in downtown Mobile. You have to come. There are so many things for kids to do here and families. It'll blow you away. And this also encompasses the Fort Conde Fort, which is right here, and Clotilda, and then I forgot the Phoenix Fire Museum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Fort Conde was a French fort. It was originally built in 1723. And what they've done is they built a replica of it downtown. It's not quite the same. I think it's like 3/5 the size of the normal fort. But it's a great place. And it's got it really gives you that feel. And maybe that's something we can do at some point. But all the oldest architecture, of course, is here along the Mobile River where it was originally settled. And so it had changed names a few times with different occupation. With the British had it was Fort Charlotte, and then Carletta with the Spanish. So and then unfortunately it was torn down. But there are some remnants of it at Mardi Gras Park across the street, and they kind of did a dedication to the old fort. So lots of history down here. And also in the lobby of this History Museum of Mobile, there's a statue of Mary Ann, who was on the top of the Rudolph Benz courthouse across the street at one time, just stunning. And so it's just these walls can talk.
It's a huge stone statue. It's got to be at least a story high to me. It seems
it's probably 12, 15 feet tall. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And then during this podcast, you'll see a video that Steve took when you first come in the History Museum of Mobile. The lobby is just incredible. There's just so many treasures here in Mobile that you've got to come see. It needs to be on your bucket list, if not your full-time living place.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me about your Mardi Gras. Steve got a golf cart for Mardi Gras, a big golf cart.
Oh man, it was so much fun. We toured all around the city and saw all kinds of friends. We're popping on and off, getting rides, and just enjoying all the festivities. And Mardi Gras is such a, we talk about Mobile being the birthplace of Mardi Gras, and it's just so much fun. But, the parades, and then the throwing of the beads and the floats with the dragons and the fire-breathing dragons. We definitely they got blueberry moon pies this year, which is kind of a new thing, which are really tasty. I'm ashamed that I caught one. I already ate it. The bands, just some really good, clean fun.
It's family oriented.
Absolutely.
I was blown away at the floats. There are artists that do this all year round. These are not your huge, massive manufactured floats. These are all done by hand. They are works of art. And then all these high school and college bands come here and play. It is extraordinary. And everybody just hangs out like a huge tailgate. And their family comes, their friends come, they move around, they go to house. And then Steve had that golf cart. That was fabulous. And I had out-of-town company, and they really appreciated that golf cart after walking a lot.
Oh, yeah, man. We were whipping around downtown all through Oakley, Old Dauphin Way. So we would cover a lot of ground in a hurry. And it was just a lot of fun. At some point, talk about maybe doing historic tours, things like that. In future episodes, we're going to figure out some ways we can maybe incorporate that for people that want to see some of the history of Mobile. We'll do some guided tours.
Well, we have lots of fun memories between the two of us for Mardi Gras, but one of my funnest, and we will not name names, is we had been at Joe Cane Day, which if you haven't been to Joe Cane Day, it's always the last Sunday before Mardi Gras. And Joe Cane was the gentleman. Mardi Gras started in Mobile, and it's run every year with the exception of 2 years in the Civil War time. And Joe Kane dressed up as a Native American Indian and paraded and declared that the Mardi Gras had started again. And so they had this huge street parade, and it's called the People's Parade. And we were all hanging out at that outside of just a lovely, cool little place called Callahan's where everybody goes. And one of our friends was trying to get on Steve's cart, and she fell off right there in the street. But she didn't hurt a bone. She got right back up and kept going. And we were so impressed because we really thought she had hurt herself.
She was a good sport. And also, special shout out to her because she was the one who explained to me how to actually pronounce the chief's name, Slakabamarinico.
Oh.
And the reason that he dressed up as a Chickasaw war chief was because they never surrendered. So it was a way really of them thumbing their noses at the Union troops after the Civil War for occupying the city. So it's kind of a cool little intermeeting there for people. So it's so much fun.
And as we mentioned, the History Museum is right in the heart of downtown, and a lot of the parades go right through downtown.
Right across the street from the museum where the courthouse originally was is Mardi Gras Park. So it's a great staging area. And this is like the family-friendly area, too. If you have young children and stuff, this is
probably, two
non-alcoholic.
blocks? 2 blocks? It's a huge park.
Something like that. But, it's got Fort Condy. You've got Fort Condy Village with these beautiful historic homes. You've got Christ Church, which was originally built in the 1830s. So you've just got a lot of visual. Actually, we pulled up this morning behind us to the east of us is the cruise ship.
A huge Carnival cruise ship.
Yeah, I think it's like 2,600 passengers. It's brand new and it's massive. That's an ornament to the city. But there's just so much going on downtown, and we just like to be a part of it and kind of showcase what our city has to offer to people that come in to visit or people coming to move here.
Right. And I read that I can't remember the name of it, but there's a Navy ship that comes in port every year for Mardi Gras. And they just kind of hang out and let their sailors out. And I thought that was just the coolest thing.
They have a blast. Yeah.
And they just kind of hang out. And I did notice in one of the parades, I think it was KOR, that it looked like one of the senior officers was riding with the Queen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He had all
the King and Queen. Yeah, they ride
medallions. It was very impressive. I thought, wow. And he was young to have all those medallions.
I'm not sure.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, absolutely. That was really fun.
Yeah. Any other tidbits you can think about downtown? I mean, there's just so much down here.
Well, in a future episode, maybe next year, we're going to cover the Mardi Gras Museum with all the incredible gowns and jewelry and all the they have they've documented Mardi Gras from its inception here. And it's just a really beautiful setting in an old 1870s Italianate kind of townhouse with all the cast iron work and stuff. So, we just have so much culture, so much rich history in this area in Mobile, and we're proud to show it. And I think people are interested and intrigued by how unique it is from anywhere else that they've been.
Because remind people how many flags have flown over this?
Well, 6 different flags. We had the Spanish, we had the French and the British, and then we had, the Confederacy, we had the Alabama state flag in the United States. So, all different kinds of influences. I think that's what's so unique about where we live, because it also comes out not just in the architecture, but also in our food.
Yeah.
The cuisine, the jambalaya and the gumbo and the seafood. And so the Gulf Coast region is just a very different area from the rest of the state. And that's from New Orleans all the way to Pensacola, Florida, with Mississippi, included. So we love it here, and Mardi Gras is a lot of fun, but it's over with this year. We'll have to do it again next.
And I'll tell you this was such a treasure for me. We bought a house in the old Dauphin Way Historic District, and I got tired after a lot of, there's so many parades. So I just went home, was sitting on my back deck. I think it was Mardi Gras Day. And I could hear the parades. I could hear the bands just sitting on my back porch. And it was just me. And I almost kind of felt like it was a sacred moment. It was so special to be able to hear that music in my own backyard. And there's something to me about a high school band or a college band. They really get into it. And the dancers, wow.
Yeah, it just kind of harkens you back to a simpler time where just good, clean fun with a band and people dancing and having fun, and nobody's on their phone. Everybody's trying to catch moon pies. And you better keep your head up, because if your head's not on a swivel, you get hit. And sometimes it hits you with the head with some beads. So you always have to tell the new people to the Mardi Gras route, you better watch that float when it passes, because sometimes they'll still come back and hit you.
They were throwing whole boxes of moon pies.
Oh, yeah.
Whole boxes of moon pies.
Yeah,
they're throwing them individually too. And you'll see that some, depending on where you are on the parade route, some people throw a lot more different areas. Maybe they know somebody on that section. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder for another episode if we should talk a little bit more, maybe next year, about the different crews and their history. And
absolutely. So many different mystic societies.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes into all that.
Because I noticed on Mardi Gras Day that a lot of women, I think it was for KR, had on fabulous hats. And I guess they were going to I think they have like some sort of
Have a ball after with the parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Well, we are so excited to bring you this episode of Mobile by May. Make sure, please. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo,
See a little moon pie?
Throw me something, mister.
That's right.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and please share on YouTube, Mobile by May. We cannot thank you enough for what you've done already. Oh, my word. That last episode is over 1,000 views.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
That's really cool.
Amazing. And tell them if they have questions or they want to talk to you, your email address and your phone number.
My email is esme@samwinter.com, or I'm at 251-209-4028. We also have some followers in Canada, which I thought was really neat.
We really want to thank the people at the Mobile History Museum for letting us film here. We wanted to do it somewhere kind of central to downtown. We had a couple of options, and they were quite generous. So come down here or give donations, whatever you can do. This is history, and we need to preserve history.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining.
Hey, y'all, I'm going wide angle just because it's just so massive. There's just no way to get it with a normal lens. I'm going to start outside again. We kind of did a tour on the exterior. Now I want to take you inside between these urns and these gorgeous Victorian doors that are beveled glass, 10 feet tall. I've got bullseyes, decorative trim work on the side. We come into the main foyer. We've got a mural painted on the ceiling, stunning crystal chandeliers with the banister for the original staircase that goes up. And look at how beautiful this is. This is very similar to an 1830s house that I salvaged as far as a newel post. The floors are solid heart pine. And then when I originally came in here, I was told it was a Victorian. And I was like, well, look at these door casings. These are Egyptian. This is Greek Revival. We found out it's at least 1854, double parlor, and potentially, maybe older, maybe 1830s, federal. I've opened one of the pocket doors just to kind of show the scale of the room because it's so massive. You just can't really appreciate it, I don't believe, on film. But these ceilings are about 13 foot tall. So think about these doors. This is just a brilliant way to close off a room and have more privacy. And you're entertaining and things like that. So you see the door casings here. They're all Greek like that. We even have a phenomenal arch. Look at this. It's a Victorian kind of neoclassical type arch with some great little woodwork trim on it, which I've never seen before. This was the original back porch. You can still see the ceiling. And then this was purposed into a kitchen. Sometimes we're evaluating what to do there. I'm going to go into this, maybe the original room, which, look at these. These are 2x12 ceiling joists. Just don't see that very often. That is incredible. And then if you look here, you'll see the wooden peg in the corner there where that corner bracing is to help give it security and brace it. And I've got beams across the front. So these are all kind of antebellum building techniques. But I did want you to show this one little piece, one little detail. Look at the trim on this door. Okay, look at that. Now let's go back into the main part of the house and look at how the trim is in here. See how different that is? So it definitely gives you pause, makes you wonder, why would it be different? Perhaps it was built earlier. Don't know yet. But I'm fascinated with that. I know this is one of the oldest houses on Dauphin Street. We're going to try to go upstairs. About at least 30 feet, man. Solid. Don't build them like this anymore. Then we've got beautiful stained glass windows, studies. It's got so many rooms. It could be repurposed into so many different ways. I love this mantel. It's very classic and it's very large and just has a really cool presence to that. And these doors, look at these panel doors. Go into this front room where the turret is, has built-in bookcases. be an incredible place to sit here and write a novel, which I feel like this house frankly deserves one written about it. If these walls could talk. Look at this craftsmanship, this recessed diamond pattern in here too. Then you have this glorious porch with jib doors at the base. These are actual doors that open. This is how they designed things back then, which is really neat. And look at these. This reminds me of New Orleans. Look at that. Not a pane broken, incredible condition, beautiful. We go into this next bedroom. Wow, look at the stained glass. Look at that, just knock your eyes out. And come in, got another balcony off here, off this front bedroom. Just needs a little love and care. You can see a church steeple out there. That's All Saints. Okay, then we go back here, which we're not really sure how to reconfigure the house yet, but look at these coffered ceilings. This was once a huge bathroom, and all the marble had been taken out. And I think it has tremendous potential to be a master bedroom with this coffered ceiling. That's just exquisite. And then we've got another bedroom in here with a Greek Revival mantle. It's more period for this house. And there's actually a secret bookcase door that goes off the back and down the stairwell for the servants' quarters at one time, but it's currently locked. We're going to figure out how to get that open. And maybe next episode we'll feature some other cool aspects of this house. But this is truly a magnificent gem. And man, does it tell a story about the city of Mobile and all the different people that have lived here and worked here and all the different influences of our city. And just can't wait to get started.
Thank you for listening to Mobile by May. Please make sure to leave us a review on the podcast platform. Share with your friends on social media. We love questions, so feel free to text us at 601-955-3490 or smay@samwinter.com. You can also follow Steve May on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.